All right, Shalom. We want to start by saying, call Allah, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, Ruach double honors to the Apostles of Israel, aka the Apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. My name is Ali Ashad, and what we'll get into is, as the title reads, it says, they're already pushing us towards it, put the Motb, and many are not realizing it. You know what I'm saying? And basically, this stems from a video I saw in an article I saw this morning. I'm gonna bring up the article and the video as well, because the screenshot is a screenshot of the video I watched. A brother posted on the social media, and it's basically a brother. Well, it was an Israelite up here, so-called black man, and he was basically talking about the whole thing with the food stamps and the SNAP shit, and how they're gonna use that. They're gonna use that kind of play to usher in the Motb. They're gonna use the food as a weapon. All right, and this is not nothing new that Esau did. Esau always used the food, water, and resources, the supply, the bare essentials we need to live as a person. They use that as a weapon to usher in their agenda, and that ultimate agenda is going to be the Motb. Because as of right now, with this whole government shutdown thing, they're saying that which is this Saturday coming up, that the SNAP benefits will not be passed out to the people. People won't get those usual SNAP benefits, their food stamps. All right, and they're saying that that's going to affect, as of right now, it's like 42 million Americans. So when you really think about it, so what's something they could do? Because the Lord has His prophets out here talking about the Motb, right? So what if there were no prophets around? If the Lord didn't send His prophets around, everybody would get to see Him. But the Lord said what? That seeb is a form of worshiping a God and worshiping an idol. All right? And the Lord said that He has a select amount of people, of Israelites, that are not going to bow down to this image and this mark. Even a lot of these heathens are not going to get it, but the Lord doesn't care about the heathens. And a lot of Israelites, a lot of Jakes are going to get the seeb as well, just like they did with the jump shot. All right? So that's where we at right now. These devils are saying that you're basically, and I got this article. This is from investing.com, and it's on the behalf of Reuters. It says, U.S. Department of Agriculture says no food aid benefits will be issued next month. And that next month is talking about November. And November 1st is this upcoming Saturday, because today is the 26th. So this upcoming Saturday is going to be, supposedly, nobody's going to get their food stamps. Now remember, that's 42 million Americans. And you already have the rhetoric right now. A lot of people that are talking about, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, or I'm going to have to get mine, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But these devils already know of how people think and what people are going to possibly resort to. All right? But Lord willing, be edified. I want to get to this article. And of course, get to, some scriptures. So, like I said, so this is from investing.com on the behalf of Reuters. And it says, U.S. Department of Agriculture says no food aid benefits will be issued next month. Now, it says this was published October 25th, which was yesterday at 10:36 p.m., and updated at 10:26, which is today, at 6:42 a.m., which is about 3 hours ago. All right? So it says, Washington, the U.S. Department of Agriculture said on Saturday that food benefits under one of the country's biggest social assistance programs will not be issued next month amid the ongoing federal government shutdown. Now, I believe they got to be talking about SNAP. And it says the shutdown is now in its 25th day, with Republicans and Democrats in Congress remaining at an impasse over how to fund and reopen the federal government. Now, you see that? Here's a little bit of that cause that the Lord talked about. When the Lord said what He calls of all. Now, I was digging, because actually there's another thing I saw. Brother posted, like, I guess it's a reenactment of them, like, ushering the seeb and saying that you have to get the seeb. So I think I screen recorded as well. I might post it. But it basically said that the people had to get the seeb in order to make their purchase or get their benefits. There was another commercial, and that commercial, there was another commercial I seen. It was from a health website, and it was basically I forget the name of the company, but it was health something. And that advertisement was 13 years old, which means it came out in 2012. There was another CHIP advertisement. It was in Japan, and that came out 5 years ago in 2020. And they were advertising having a micro CHIP. They was advertising making purchases. I have the screen recordings on my phone. So where we at right now is these devils about to usher in the MOTB and soon. Because what's going to be the thing? What's going to be the decision that, because you got in the UK the whole thing with digital IDs, you got the whole thing with Sweden, how they got the MOTB. So how much closer is America and other parts of the world bringing in the MOTB as well? You already had people that had the MOTB in America. Remember, there was a whole pilot program in 2007. I believe it was in Wisconsin. So it's not something that's new. People have had to see it since the late 90s up until now. All right, but now they're getting into the he calls of all stages. Before it's like voluntary, or you do this and that, but now it's getting to it's not going to be voluntary. All right. So it says bottom line, and it's a continuing article says bottom line, the well has run dry. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said in a post on its website, at this time there will be no benefits issued November 1st. So that's this Saturday. So you're gonna have a lot of people shit out of luck as of right now. Now, what are they gonna do? How are they gonna come to this agreement? How are they gonna get away from this impasse? Now, I'm not saying that they're gonna say, oh, bring in the MOTB right then and there next week, but you can see the direction they're headed. You can see where they're going with this. They're already talking about this digital ID stuff heavy. So it says more than 41 million depend on the monthly payments, according to USDA. In some states like New Mexico, dependence on the program is as high as 21% of residents, it said. So 21% of residents in New Mexico rely on SNAP benefits. They rely on food stamps every month. And that's just one state. One state. But in New Jersey, in New Jersey, they got people on food stamps. In New York, they got people on food stamps. Other parts of, it's mad states that have people that rely on food stamps. And 42 million Americans, all right, that's almost it's almost 340 million Americans, population in America. So you have a nice portion of America. And remember we talked about this yesterday at camp. The 42 million Americans, 42 million Americans that rely on it. Remember, that's the people that's documented that's getting it. You got to think about who those 42 million Americans are helping with their food stamps. And you got to remember, the whole thing, people be selling their food stamps. So there's a whole lot of people that depend on SNAP benefits, food stamp benefits every month. All right? And from old to young. It said the agency's announcement came after more than 200 Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives on Friday called on USDA to draw on its emergency reserves to fund November food benefits. So now they're saying to go into their emergency reserves. It says, however, according to a memo seen by Reuters, the department indicated that it would not do so. So they're not going to go into their emergency reserves to give the benefits for this upcoming month. It says governors in Louisiana and Virginia declared states of emergencies this week to make funds available to help with hunger relief in anticipation of SNAP benefits not being issued next month. So this is a dilly of a pickle right now. This is a dilly of a pickle. And they're saying that, so basically as of right now, they're saying indefinitely there are going to be no SNAP food stamp benefits passed out this upcoming month. And then November 1st is this Saturday. So all this week, and then however long this government shutdown, however long this goes, it's going to lead right into the holiday season, right into the so-called Thanksgiving, right into Christmas. Because it said it's on day 20. And so what's going to be the thing? Now, I'm not saying that on Saturday they're going to say you have to get to see it. But what I'm saying is the direction they're headed as time goes on, what else is going to be the agreement to where they can be like, this is what we got to do. They can start off by saying, the whole thing with the digital ID. Or they can start off with a whole set of different requirements to get your food stamps. But ultimately, they're going to say what? You're going to need the MOTB to function in society. And they're going into that direction right now. All right, so let me play this video real quick. So this brother, I don't say he's not in the truth, but this man, and I'm going to get the scripture. So he was basically talking about Like how they gonna use this, and it's gonna be a way that they usher in the MOTB.
Everyone to accept the mark of the beast. Everyone to accept the mark of the beast. Starve them out, make them homeless, and keep them sick. Oh, and as far as you talking about the EBT card holders looting stores, that's not going to happen. You see, all it takes is for one city, one store, it doesn't matter what it's happened to. The news gets out there immediately. Guess what happens? Trump sends out the military, not the National Guard. I think y'all forgetting. He got the military on standby. What we saw on these videos of they meeting, that was what they wanted to see. But you got to remember the camera turns off, and they had their own private conversation. Why do you think some of them stepped down and got the fuck away? Because of the news that they heard. But I'm going to get deeper into this. You see, they need us to bank them. Because martial law is going to come. Once anybody think about looting, it's going to come. You're stuck in your home. Now, all of you out there that's talking bad about the EBT card holders, thinking to yourself, yo, me and my family okay. I'm going to be honest with you, no, you're not. No, you're not. One or two things going to happen. One, it's going to run out eventually. Two, when ICE, that's regardless of whoever, come to your home and don't think you above nobody else that they can't come inside your home. Guess what? Their mission is to make sure they make it as uncomfortable as they possibly can for you. It has to be done. Make the people beg. Cripple them. Knock them down to the ground. So then when they come out and say, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wipe away your credit. We're going to do all of this. Make sure you eat. We got 15-minute cities. Homes for all of you. But all you got to do is just take this little peach right here, and you and your family okay. You know what? Without a second thought, millions and millions and millions and millions of Americans are going to do it. The ones who don't do it, they're going to try to put up a fight for a minute.
Now you see how he said, what all you have to do is take this little pinch, and you and your family will be okay. So this is a whole nother ballgame. Now, the digital ID is one thing. That's not the MOTB. But the RFID microchip, that is the MOTB. And they're gonna use this whole thing with the snap, with the digital ID. They're gonna use all of this to bring in the ultimate thing, which is the MOTB. It ain't gonna be. It's not many more moves this devil has to make. He has to move quick. All this AI, all this shit with the jobs laying off people. It's leading up to the beast system, because why? He can't have people, the whole thing with working under the table. That's why he's making everything digital. Everything's being digital so it can be accounted for. That's what they remember. They at least want to be like the Most High. They want to have their eyes and ears on everything and everyone. They want to see everything that's happening. They want to monitor all the transactions. Because remember, that's their kingdom. Their kingdom is the technology. So they're going to use the technology to be like the Most High. All right? So let me get this scripture real quick, because you hear what the man said. The man said that, are you going to have to take this pinch and you and your family will be okay? So now that if the U.S. of Agriculture is saying that, says no food benefits will be issued next month. Next month starts this week, upcoming week. This Saturday is going to be November 1st. Remember, the government shut down, and that means it's going to be a whole month, an actual whole month since the government shut down, because the government shut down on October 1st. All right? So let me get the scripture real quick. Get the regular. Oh, I'm already in Revelation. So this is the book of, this is the NLT though. I'll read the NLT first. So he says, Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, and it reads, he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on the right hand or on the forehead. All right? There's people that have this already. But now he's saying what? He's going to cause all. It says he required everyone in the NLT of Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. He required everyone. Just like they're saying what? They're requiring everyone to get a digital ID in the UK. I believe there's something going on with a digital ID or paperless something over there in Mexico. In America, the United States, Babylon the Great, most people don't use cash. They're saying that they're trying to. They're saying by like, I seen something on a financial or a technical social media website. It basically said that by I think by 2030, there's gonna be like 9 things. It's gonna be like 9 things that's gonna be phased out. One of those things was cash. The other things was credit cards. The other thing was radios, analog radios. The other thing was that's four. It was like some other things, but I know it said credit cards and cash. Those are the main ones that I see. Like when they get rid of credit cards and getting rid of cash. So what else are they going to have? They're going to have a digital ID, but what's ultimately going to be the next phase? The next phase is going to be what? The Motb. That's why it says what? He required everyone. That's the end game. That's his final. That's going to be the biggest move he makes, and he's close to making that move. These devils are close to making that move. All right. So this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 17 in the NLT, and it says, and no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. Buying and selling. Commerce. Remember what Jody told Peanut and Baby Boy? Commerce, nigga. The whole world moves through transactions. Esau's kingdom is about transactions. Buying and selling. Buying and selling. The consumer and the lender. Or no, the consumer and the distributor. That's what America, that's what Esau's kingdom is about. That's what remember all these trade wars, it's going to have to be a silver lining. And that silver lining is going to be the beast system. All these other countries, they're all in league with having this whole digital financial system. So it's not far-fetched. They're in the process, they're doing it right now. And they're going to use, and America's move seems to be using these food stamps and these benefits. But it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop with the SNAP, but the SNAP is one of the most important things because why? It's revolved around food. It's all about food. And if 42 million Americans, and that number is going to be more because the 42 million Americans that's on the food stamps help other people. You got to think about their children, those women that get it, all those single mothers, all those older people, and they're saying it's not going to come. They're saying that in depth as of right now, they're not going to get it this upcoming month. When this upcoming month starts Saturday, and as you look at things, time has been flying very fast. Time has been flying. That's another thing the Lord said. He shortened the days. So where do you think we at right now with all this? Where do people think this is going to head? And it's not something. And remember, fucking with people's food, that's already like, yo, you're already a treacherous motherfucker. Fuck with somebody's food, water supply. That's ultimate war on the people. That's literally the American government having war against the American citizens. But here it is, right? Here it is. You think about it. And I don't want to rant too much, but you think about it, these devils having all these issues with the SNAP benefits and the food stamp, but yet the Republicans and the Democrats seem to come in quick agreements when it comes to giving money to Amalek over there, or giving money to any other country. You giving billions of dollars to Argentina? They're giving billions of dollars to the Ukraine. Giving billions of dollars to the fucking small hats over there in the land of Israel. So how do y'all come so quick to make decisions giving them motherfuckers money, but when it comes to the people on your own soil and your own country, y'all having such a hard time making a decision? That's how you know it's set up. And it says, I'm gonna read that again. So this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 in the NLT, and it says, he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor. So rich and poor. So the people that make good money. So you're gonna have the people that don't receive SNAP benefits, that don't receive food stamps. But here it is. How you gonna buy the food that you're able to afford? If they're changing the whole financial system, ain't gonna be no more cash, and ain't gonna be no more credit cards or debit cards. They're saying that the credit cards and debit cards are gonna be obsolete too. They're saying, yo, I think it was Elon Musk or one of the motherfuckers, they were talking about, hey, eventually there's going to be no more cell phones. They said your cell phone going to be in your hand. They got the whole thing with the Apple Watches. That's what. And remember, this is all part of that biometric technology takeover. All this AI shit. This is where we at. This is clearly the beast system coming into fruition, man. And ultimately, this devil's going to bring out. He's going to bring out the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, the charagma. Remember, you heard what the dude said in that video I just played. He said, "Oh yeah, what they gonna do is, yo, starve the people out, have the people, and then it's gonna be quick when a lot of people fall in line. Cause think about it, you got a lot of people. If a lot of people depend on that being the whole way that they get their food is with these SNAP and food benefits, food stamps. It's not gonna take long for week go by, 2 weeks go by, 3 weeks go by, 4 weeks go by. We're already in a month, so now you got Thanksgiving coming. That the so-called Thanksgiving holiday gonna come. And then people ain't gonna get food stamps because they didn't get it for the month of November. So you're gonna have people fucking with other people's shit, or like, you know what I'm saying, or going to other family members that hardly making ends meet as well, but not receiving food stamps. It's not like the people that's not receiving food stamps are just so well off. It says Revelation chapter 13, verse 17 in NLT, and it says, and no one could buy or sell anything. And no one can buy or sell anything. You couldn't make no transactions because it said buy or sell. It says that no one could buy or sell anything without that mark. And what is that mark? The RFID microchip, man. And that's where we're headed. They're about to usher that out. They're about to bring that out. They can't sit on this too long. Because if they're talking about, they can't make a decision on what to do to open the government back up. So if the government says shut down, you got military not getting paid, you got federal workers getting laid off. How is this going to fly? How is this going to play out? Because people go but so long without eating. You know, a lot of Americans, they eat, they stuff themselves like pigs. So that's the first thing Babylon, the great Esau, is targeting over here. He's talking about your food. You know what? Cut the food stamps. Remember, Trump was talking about cutting all these. Remember, the whole thing was a government spending, cutting a lot of the Democratic programs, and one of those things was these food stamp shit. The Republicans ain't for the food stamps and shit. All right. This is verse 18 of Revelation chapter 13 in the NLT, and it says, "Wisdom is needed here. Let the one with understanding solve the meaning of the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, his number is 666. Now, 666 what? That's clearly known as Satan worship. And this is talking about the devil. The devil, the deceiver, man. See, he's going to come in and make it seem like, it's going to make things easier. You're not going to worry about losing your wallet. You're not going to worry about losing your keys. He's not going to come in and saying like, this is the mark of the beast, and if you get it, you're going to die. No, he's going to come in like a snake, saying that this is going to make life easier for you. This is going to make everything better for you. If you want to continue to receive your food stamp, you want to continue to receive your benefits, you want to continue to receive your Social Security, all you got to do is get this in your hand and say just a little piece of rice. That's how the devil do. He going to make it seem like it's cute. He going to fancy it up like it's good to get. But in the meantime, there's going to be, if you get that as an Israelite, especially if it's the seed of Jacob, you're going to be burned in this nuclear fire that's coming. Matter of fact, let's get this. So we are in the book of now Revelation, the next chapter, in the NLT, chapter 14, verse 9. And it reads, because there's a judgment. Remember, there's a judgment if you get the MOTB. It's not gonna be if you get this CHIP and then like, everything is gonna be okay. That's the complete opposite for you. Because once they usher in to say like everybody gotta get this, it's not gonna be much time. We're gonna be here just dwelling, and this devil just because it said when he goes to fill his belly. So when he gets to see it, when he said like everybody gotta get this, and when he gets it all off the ground, that's when the Lord gonna stop a mud hole in his ass. All right. But so it's Revelation chapter 14, verse 9, and it reads, "Then the third angel followed them, shouting, anyone who worships the beast and his statue, or who accepts his mark on the forehead or on the hand." Because you got people that talk about, I'm not going to get in my right hand, I'm going to get in my left hand, because the scripture did say the right hand. But in this scripture, it says in the hand. Because you got people that got it in their left hand or in their right hand. There's this one guy that got two CHIPs. So that means that they're already set for judgment. Remember that the Lord is very uh uh exact, and he's very he's very non-changing. He doesn't change his mind. He's not gonna say, "Oh, if you get to see it, and then you change it." No, once you get it, you're marked for judgment. That's it. The Lord said the judgment has gone out already. The Lord, it is written, past tense. It is written, and it shall be done. Like the Lord says, "What? Thy will be done." The Lord said, "If He has proposed it, it shall stand." Roughly paraphrasing. All right. It says, verse 10 of Revelation chapter 14 in the NLT, and it says, "Must drink the wine of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI's anger. It has been poured full strength into Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI's cup of wrath." Now, this is the New Testament. Why don't they talk about this? Is in the New Testament. This is in the book of Revelation, the last book. But you'll never, it's Sunday. It's Sunday morning right now. I bet you the pastor is not reading from this book. I bet you're not telling the people not to get the digital ID or to not get the Motb, the RFID micro chip, because it's already being talked about throughout the earth right now. They've been talking about it for over 10 years. That whole thing in Wisconsin with the pilot, the companies having people get CIP'd, that was in 2017, which is about to be almost 10 years ago. But yeah, it says, and they will be tormented with fire and burning sulfur in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. And that fire is going to be via nuclear missiles, man. The same thing that Putin just tested a couple days ago, nuclear drill. North Korea just tested some ballistic missiles. You got America sending nuclear shit over into Australia. You got all the nations getting ready for what? That day of the Lord, man. Where the Lord said told the Gentiles, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Matter of fact, let me get that. Because all these scriptures, all these prophecies, they all tie in with each other. Because in the midst of when this war comes along, it's going to be what coming along as well? The devil bringing in his system. Because the whole judgment from the nukes is going to be because of this system that this devil's bringing in this mark that he's about to have everybody have to get. And it's going to be the decision of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHWASHI who has the strength to not get it. That's why me myself personally, always pray and beg for strength, man. Beg for strength and mercy to endure to the end. To endure the hour of temptation, man, because that hour is coming upon us, man. The persecution, these devils trying to go and come at the prophets, man. It's gonna get dire. It's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly for brothers. That's why brothers gotta understand, like, yo, this ain't no game. We could have holy conversation, hang out, discuss certain things and do certain things, do camp things, but understand that any moment now, these devils are gonna come for us. Remember, it said that the enemy should come in like a flood. And all of this, and in the midst of all of this civil unrest, the uproars of the people, the sedition among men, the famines, the plagues, all in the midst of that, and then what's going to come after is going to be that fire. Because in the midst of all of what's happening, in the midst of the countries in their own land, most of the nations are getting ready for a nuclear war because it's all simultaneously connected with each other. All right. So it says, this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 9, and it's in the NLT app. It says, "Say to the nations far and wide, get ready for war. Call out your best warriors. Let all your fighting men advance for the attack." And that's what you have going on right now. All the nations, they're preparing for war. You got America talking about they about to attack Venezuela. There's some shit going on with America and Colombia. You got the whole shit going on still with Taiwan and China. You got the whole conflict going on with Ukraine and Russia. You got the whole thing, America, Russia, China, Iran, the small hats, everybody, it's some kind of issue everywhere. You got the shit going on with African countries. You got shit going on within the EU, NATO, and America. It's just a bunch of skirmishes. It's just a bunch of shit going on, man. One big clusterfuck that the Lord is brewing. And remember, the Lord said what? He declared the end from the beginning. So the Lord already been having is about to happen. It just now physically manifested, and now we're seeing it. And that's why it's a thankful thing to have the understanding to know why this is taking place. To understand that these are actual prophecies that the Lord set out from the beginning. It said, "Let all your fighting men advance for the attack." So what the fuck? This didn't happen yet. This was actually being prepared right now. It's actually, they're preparing for war. What did Pete Hegseth tell those generals when they had that meeting a couple ways back. Fuck all the DEI, fuck all that bullshit, fuck all that fuck it all. Prepare war. Prepare for war. That's the time we in right now. We're in a time of war. Whether it be war within the country or war with all the other countries with war with each other. And it's not gonna stop. All right? Verse 10, it says, hammer your plowshares into swords and your pruning hook into spears. Train even your weaklings to be warriors. And that's what's happening right now too. Conscriptions, they're talking about the whole thing with the Ukraine. I don't know if it's Ukraine or Russia, where certain men at a certain age got to get ready, got to get into the military. You got the whole thing going on in Israel with the small hats, where they want them small hats and them top hats to get enlisted into the military. You got China, they getting ready. You got China, Iran, North Korea, South Korea, Japan, Africa, the European countries, France, Germany. That's why this is the third. And the Lord said, "What? The third woe coming quickly." This is happening quickly every day that Pat. What is it? October 26th, quarter after 10 in the morning, a.m. And it's going to continue to brew. And then we have till November 1st to where motherfuckers ain't gonna get no food stamps. So then you have it's so much shit compounded on top of each other, man. On top of now, the nation, well, not now, but the nation is preparing for war more. Sending nuclear subs here, sending nuclear missiles there, testing missiles there, testing missiles there. All prophecy. All right. Joel chapter 3 verse 11 in the NLT, it says, come quickly, all you nations everywhere, gather together in the valley, and now, O Lord, call out your warriors. Now, who is the Lord's warriors? The angels, and ultimately who? The elect. But the Lord is telling these nations, yo, call out your warriors. The Lord is going to, it's going to be a sight to see, man. And just FYI, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI is going to win. You nations are going to lose. Who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, that's who we're talking about when he comes back, whose name is really YAHAWASHI. When he comes back, he's going to destroy you nations and your armies. And then after the armies are destroyed, the people of the nation that aren't in the army, you're going to be carted off into captivity. Under YAHAWASHI and the Israelites. And who are the Israelites? The seed of Jacob. Who is the seed of Jacob? The so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and the people of the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Those, starting with the elect of them. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be the new rulers on the earth. So that's after this world, Esau's kingdom, after this is destroyed, that's what's going to take place. That's what's going to take, that's the future. That's the future being told to y'all right now. That's the prophecy. Joel chapter 3 verse 12 in the NLT, and it says, let the nations be called to arms. Let the nations be called to arms. Get your arms ready. Get those nukes ready. Get your missiles ready. Get those rockets ready. Get those nuclear submarines ready. Get those drones ready. Get it all ready. It says, let the nations be called to arms. Let them march to the valley of Jehoshaphat. And that's over there in the east. Over there in it's supposed to be our land. Over there in the land of Jerusalem and all that. And look what's happening over there right now. You have those small hats at war. So they're already with the shits on what the Lord has them doing. So it says, there, I, the Lord, Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, will sit to pronounce judgment on them all. Now, that's something you'll never hear in the churches. Why don't they never talk about that's YAHAWASHI? That's Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. You will never go to a church and hear a pork chop pastor talk about Joel the third chapter, and how that ties into what's going on right now. You'll never, because why? They're out there paid to teach lies. But yeah, man, and that's what's happening. So in the midst of all the C-HIP, the SNAP benefits, all the famines, all of the plague that the Lord said was going to be coming upon this place. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me go more and close it out. Was it 14? Okay. So we're in the book of, I'm going to go to the book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1, and I'm going to read this in the NLT. And it reads, matter of fact, I'm going to go to the King James as well. Hold up. I'll go to the blue letter, because I'm in the NLT app. That's why I was reading for there. So, all right, blue letter, Isaiah 19. So, this is the book of Isaiah chapter 19. I'm going to start at the top. Now, when it talks about Egypt, in this setting, yeah, it can sound like the ancient Egypt, but it's not talking about the land of Egypt where at the time of Moses. It's talking about right now, because why? When you go into the book of, let me go to that real quick. Hold up. Fuck, we're on that. You're going to Revelations 11 and 8. So you go to Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. It talks about Revelation chapter 11, verse 8, and it says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Now we go into America is representing of the Roman Empire, the second extension of the Roman Empire, the second beast, Babylon the Great. But it said the city is talking about America, because when you go into Revelation, like the 18th chapter, the 19th chapter, when it talks about Babylon the Great, the whore that should be judged, that sitteth on the top, that's all about America. America is that city that's spiritually Sodom and Egypt. Look what they pushing. They push nothing but the whole Mo agenda, the whole alphabet community agenda, because it's spiritually Sodom and Egypt, pushing emotion and what, nothing but work. You do nothing but work here, because Egypt was bondage, captivity, and that's all America is. So going back to that, going back to Isaiah. So it said the burden of Egypt. So remember, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. So it said the burden of Egypt. Behold, the Lord rideth upon the swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother." And that's what's happening right now in America. You got nothing but divide. Well, Republicans and Democrats, MAGA and Democrats, or so on and so forth. Jacob and Esau. Red state versus blue states. You know, and it's going to continue, and it seems to be letting up, because the Lord said what? He's putting that spirit on people. The Lord said, "Now I'm gonna put this spirit on Egypt now, aka America, Babylon the Great." And it says, "Everyone shall fight against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Just like you got America, which is run by Esau, beefing with the other Edomite countries, or little disagreements. EU, NATO. Because remember, neighbor. Those are American Edomites and French Edomite. They're all Edomites. They're each other's neighbor. They're each other's brother. And they're all set different kingdoms. But they're all part of one kingdom, which is Esau's kingdom, and it's the Esau's kingdom of the second extension of the Roman Empire. And look at the chaos. Now look at the chaos. You got no king protests. You got all this shit going on where people are going against their leader in this country and in other countries. But continuing on, and it says in verse 3 of Isaiah chapter 19, it says, "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. And the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord." Now, who is that cruel lord right now? That's Donald Trump. Being controlled by who? The top cruel lords, which are the elites. The elite smallheads, the elite Edomites, the elite so-called white people. The central banking families. The Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Bernsteins, all the motherfuckers, man. The ones that call the shots behind the scenes, the shadow government. The ones that the whole nations are in debt to. Those are the ones that the Lord, and they're controlling Trump. But who's controlling all of them? YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. That's why we ain't got nothing to worry about. Because if Yahawah BAHASHAM now Shai, our power, our God is controlling the ones that's over us, eventually, like he said, he about to take Esau out. And he says, the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts. And is not Trump a fierce king? Is he not laying down a hammer? Is he not letting up? Ever since this dude's been in office, this second term, ever since he's been in office, he's been a cruel lord. Talking about he's bringing a peace, but he's been doing the exact opposite. Nothing but war. Nothing but unpeaceful things. So right now you got the whole country going against the government. Not the whole country, but you got a lot of people. You got a lot of people that supported Trump that are not supporting some of the actions he's taken. The whole thing with the ICE, the whole thing with the bringing in the military into certain states. And then on top of that, but now whatever the shit he's doing is now affecting his own neighbors, his own brothers, the Edomites. The whole thing with the whole shit with the ICE fucking with the farmers, which are Edomites, the Edomites over there in the Midwest. That's why he said the Egyptians. This is the land of Egypt spiritually. Now I'm gonna read that in NLT now. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1 in the NLT, and it reads, "This message came to me concerning Egypt." Now, not Egypt back then, but we're in Egypt now, because like I read in Revelation 11:8, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. That's America. John wasn't talking about Egypt back then, Mizraim. He's talking about right now that city that's spiritually Egypt, and that's the city that is talking about Isaiah now. Now you got to transition that into the times we're in now, because this is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. All right? It says, concerning Egypt, it says, look, this is the NLT of Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1. It says, the Lord is advancing against Egypt, and that's what the Lord is doing right now. That's why America's crumbling. America's time is up. This place, next year, this upcoming year, 2026, July 4th, is going to be what? The 250-year mark of America's independence from Britain. So who knows what actions, what events are going to take place in these next few months? All right. It said the Lord is advancing against Egypt, riding on a swift cloud. That's a chariot, man. And eventually, when he comes back, he's gonna be on a chariot and destroy this place. All right. So cloud said the idols of Egypt tremble, the hearts of the Egyptians melt with fear. But these devils are in fear right now, man. That's why they're moving like that. They're moving with fear because they know they have a short time. Revelation 12:12. They know that their time is up. That's why Trump said the whole shit was, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna get into heaven. You in your heaven, my nigga. You in your heaven. And soon you're gonna be in hell. And that hell's gonna be 1,000 long years of captivity for you Edomites, man. You ain't gonna get away from the judgment, man. You've been fleeing judgment for a very long time, for a lot of lifetimes. Hell, ever since the garden, if you want, we're gonna get there, you've been fleeing judgment. You've been dodging judgment. I'm talking about as a nation. Yeah, you had your little time, you was in the caves and all that, but what? But for the most part, you ain't get judged for a lot of shit. And you think you're just gonna ride off of the sunset? You think you're just gonna get these plans off? This whole new martial law, this new world order? You think you're gonna get this off? Nah. It's about the time is up. The Lord said for Esau, the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of it that followeth. So the next world to come is gonna be the Israelites ruling. Remember the time Jacob and Esau, our forefathers, you sold your birthright for a morsel of meat? Now it's time to pay the piper, boy. Now it's time for you to pay the piper. We paid our piper. Our debt is paid now. And YAHAWASHI expunged the elect. So you're not going to you ain't going to be able to kill all the Israelites, man. You're not going to exterminate the nation of Israel. But you're going to try. Hey. I can't say good luck because you're not going to get it. You're not going to reach your goal. This is Isaiah chapter 19, verse 2 in the NLT, and it reads, I will make Egyptian fight against Egyptian, brother against brother, neighbor against neighbor, city against city, province against province. And that's going to happen, when those Edomites that receive food stamps, then you got the Edomites that don't receive food stamps, It's going to be the haves and the haves not. Men shall rent each other's cribs for houses for lack of bread. Sedition among men. That's all going to take place the worst over here in America. And this food stamps, this might be the thing that ushers in a lot of chaos. Because once motherfuckers can't eat, once motherfuckers hungry, they'll do anything. All right? Verse 3 in the NLT of Isaiah chapter 19, it says, the Egyptians will lose heart and I will confuse their plans. They will plead with their idols for wisdom and call on spirits, mediums, and those who consult the spirits of the dead. I will hand, verse 4, it says, I will hand Egypt over to a hard, cruel master. Our fierce king will rule them, says the Lord of heaven's armies. And that's Trump. New modern day Pharaoh. A cruel Lord. Saying, oh, they're going to die. They're going to die. We're going to have to take that back. We're going to have to do this. We're going to have to do this. Everything is talked about as a cruel Lord. He's not trying to reason with people. He's not being a man of reason. And he's double-minded. So he's going to do one thing one day and then he do another thing one day. Says he feels a way this way one day. Says he feels that way another day. You got everybody in shambles. You got your own people, your own Edomite counterparts at each other's throats. The whole shit that happened over there in Denver, Colorado. It's just a lot of sedition among men. There's a lot of chaos going on. And it's all tied to the scriptures. It's all prophecy. And you can't get around it. You could try to deny it, you could try to ignore it, but at the end of the day, everyone on this earth is going to have to face that the prophecies are coming to pass, and whatever place you have for a judgment, you're going to have to deal with that soon. Because now it's almost time to pay the piper. The Lord paid the piper for the elect. Lord will hope to be part of the elect. But you're going to have a lot of our people that their sins are not covered. And they're going to have to get judged accordingly to what YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI has stored for them. And the ultimate judgment is going to be those nuclear missiles in America. You'll have a lot of people that's going to get to see it implanted in their body. It's going to get crazy. All right? But that's it. That's pretty much all I wanted to bring out. I didn't want to make this too long, so we almost have 50 minutes. So, Lord willing, with that, Lord willing, it was edifying. I want to give all praises to YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI BAHASHAM ROKHAKODASH. Double honors to the apostles of Israel, aka the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and love to all the Akim. Continue to preach the truth and all truth and sincerity. Shalom.